So as you know, if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat at Raven the Mogul, you would know that I'm a very private person. That's number one. Number two, I'm coming to you guys today with a story time. I think I should talk about how I got to where I am now. So after college, I had 2 jobs as a waitress, and we're only going to talk about one of them. I worked as a waitress when I came back to New Jersey, and I was making really great money at first. The customers loved me, my boss loved me, everything was great until the weather changed. When fall hit, customers slowly stopped coming into the restaurant, but then when winter was approaching, customers just stopped. I would go to the bar. It was like a bar lounge, bar lounge place, I guess is the best, sports bar place. I would go and it would be absolutely empty, and I would work a 12-hour shift almost every other day, and I would work in the mornings too, which really sucked. So the money comes in at nighttime when people really, they don't want to cook, they want to come out to eat, I have family, friends over, whatever. So I would work a 12-hour shift, and I would get there really early. Sometimes I would open up and the restaurant was just empty. When that happened, it put me in a really awkward situation. Number one, I had to start looking for another job because my money was declining. That's number one. Number two, I had a college degree and I was working as a waitress, and I just felt like I was wasting my time and my skill set being a waitress when I actually wanted to get into marketing, public relations, sales at that time. So I ended up quitting that job as a waitress, and I got a job as a cold caller for a theater/arts entertainment company. So I worked there, and then I worked for this online clothing, accessories, furniture, online destination. I was a data entry contractor. I made great money there because all I had to do is wake up before I went to my first time job. I would wake up before work and do that job. So as I was a cold caller, I was doing those 2 jobs at the same time, and I was trying to make as much money as I can, because when I was a waitress, obviously the money was declining and I couldn't stay in that job any longer, so I had to leave. So I was trying to make it for the lost time, basically is what I'm trying to say. Then I started a job as a cold caller, and the people that I would cold call, they were old and they really didn't want to go to the theater, but it's kind of like they didn't have anything else better to do. We're just very open to buying tickets. They didn't have anything else better to do, so I quit that job and ended up working the data entry job. Mind you, this is all 2013. I started working the data entry job. I can't call them a website that helped you find things at a cheaper price, and I was a data entry person for them, and I made good money because I could work as much as I want, as little as I want, whatever time that I want. I could just do whatever as long as I reported to them and they monitor my work. So that worked out great. I was working for them, and then I got a job full-time as a public relations associate. My whole life changed. It went from me I had never had a full-time job to the extent of, like, as a waitress, you work 12 hours here, there, every other day, but to go to work every day, Monday through Friday, and then sometimes Saturday and Sunday also have work to do, it completely changed my schedule. So that became my full-time job, and I slowly leaned off the job as the data entry contractor. Started working that job as a PR associate, and I basically just immersed myself in it. I was going to award shows and galas and inviting press to different events, speaking with them at the events, making sure that the red carpet was perfectly set up with the step and repeat, which is the little photo behind the red carpet. I was and making sure that celebrities were attending. I was also working on a variety of different reports for clients. I was doing a lot. I pretty much did everything, and that job itself is a whole different video of what my first PR job was like. Now, while doing that job, I worked at the online I worked as an online data entry contractor until one day I woke up and they sent me a message and let me know that the company was closing down. It was so abrupt because all of the work I had done, all of the Excel reports that I had finished, it was a shocker to me because I did not understand how they weren't able to make enough money. The report also claimed that people were not getting paid, and I was getting paid. My money was perfect. I didn't know what happened. After that letter, my money just, instead of me having 2 streams of income, it went to me just having one main source of income, which was very, very scary. I've never been in a position where I've only had one source of income. That's not who I am, and that's not who I ever want to be. If any of you guys only have one source of income, you need to fix that immediately, because as I'm telling you these different jobs or what's happening, you can see that you really can't depend on any employer, and that your job can be taken away from you at any moment. That said, that day that I received that email, the letter in the email, it changed my whole life, because then I was stuck with only one source of income, and I couldn't miss a day. I had to stay at that job, and it just became very strenuous to me, and I was very unhappy at that job. So I started looking for other jobs, and I eventually got a job at the company that I'm at right now. And the previous job, I worked as a lifestyle, fashion, dining, I'm trying to think if there's anything. And then now I'm working in entertainment, which is completely different than what I was doing before. So of course, to get to where I am now, I basically had to start all over, and everything that the previous woman had taught me did not apply to the job that I was doing now, which kind of sucked because I had spent an entire year with her working full-time and part-time, and I just felt like that time that was wasted. Basically, I could have worked somewhere else. I completely forgot the fact that I had an internship. The point is, that's how I got to where I am now. That's why I quit my job as a waitress, because I wasn't making enough money. As a waitress, I made close to $200 a day when times were good, and when times were bad, I would literally make about $50, if that, and that would just be either because of a loyal customer or just a very, very lucky day. As you can see, going from making $200 a day to making almost 50 is a complete shocker to me. When I worked as a cold caller, I made $10 an hour, and I would work that job. I would probably do like 30 hours a week. And then I also had the job as the online data entry contractor, so I made money doing that as well. But they paid me, I think they paid me $13 or $15 an hour as an online data contractor, and I was killing it. I would just take that money and just go. But anyway, in between all that time, I had an internship for a public relations company, internship. She would have me look for different venues, reach out to media, invite guests to different events. But anyway, that's how I got to where I am today. And I have a bunch of more story times I want to share with you guys, but I just wanted to share a little bit about how I got to become an entertainment publicist and who I am.